Guidance for Stizzle. I think what I've always appreciated about you, Stizzle, is you've always just been yourself, and I think that's the key. Is just stick to who you are, stick to what you know. Don't try to be everything to everybody. There's going to be those situations where someone's going to hate you, and that's the role you're going to play in their life. You're the guy they're going to hate.
Do you think Steve's going to be any good as a youth care worker?
I think he's going to be excellent. He has an opportunity to really work with youth and share with youth what he has experienced and what he knows. Steve has a great ability to actually engage with youth in a wonderful way. He's very sincere, very honest, sometimes too honest. So working in the field, I think when we were working with him in the Youth Speakers Bureau, we talked about, you know, what is appropriate to share, you know, what's the purpose of what you're sharing. So once he gets beyond that, he's going to be excellent.
This is the library here. I'm right over here. You can get a little shot over here. We just walked up a little too far, but that's the spot that's known as the Wall, and there over here is Pizza Corner. Pretty infamous spot for a lot of stuff happening around here, especially after the bars get out and everything, but I used to spend a lot of time down here. And if you'd walk down a little further, you'd see that there's some people just sitting down here right now. It's pretty much a hangout spot for, you know, the street youth down around here. And as you go up further, we'll see different significant spots, well, that were significant spots at that point in my life back then, when I was a street youth down around here, when I was around 16, 17, 18. Alright, now we're a little further up Spring Garden here. Started out down at the library and Pizza Corner, getting a little shot down there. We're further up, trying to show some of the significant spots here from back then. This is a pretty significant spot here because I remember being pretty hard up a lot back then, and I'd have to panhandle, basically beg for money just to get a bite to eat. And I remember sitting here a lot of times in these steps, not even knowing where I was going to sleep that night. Just feeling pretty shitty, having to stick on my cup and beg for some change. And then I'd go up the street to McDonald's and get something to eat, or go to Subway or something, and then take it from there and try to find a place to crash that night.
He'd always be like, "Oh, that's my boy." I'm like, "You just met him last week. You just start rolling with him, but you're willing to put your neck on the line and get arrested for this guy you don't even hardly know."
Exactly. I had such a ridiculous mindset back then. It was like, you know, I'm over here on the street. These are my boys. We got to stick together. This is all I got. And you know, that was kind of the way it was. But I'm moving on from that.
Oh, naive, and he's gonna be torn apart. Yeah. Like just naive, and you know, and a nice kid, but just really nice and easily. You seem like someone who's going to be easily led astray, and you know that was a real concern. Like we all, if anything, most of the staff at the time were just very fearful that, you know, you're going to be led down the wrong path because you're.
Which I pretty much was.
Yeah. You know, but you were young again. Like you were younger. A lot of the youth were a little bit older than you were. You were one of the youngest youth we had, and quiet and just wanted to fit in.
Yeah.
You don't go into the field thinking that you don't know what you're doing. I mean, you're actually, you know, you're taking courses, you want to get certified so you can work in that field. This is something that you want to do, like your heart's in it. You know, you've had your own personal experiences, you know, as a young person, as a young street person. So, you know, of course you're going to feel kind of confident that, you know, this is what I, you know, I'm meant to do. So, you know, and then you quickly learn, you know, through, you know, the various people that you encounter that you don't quite know everything that you think you do. It's a learning process. It's always a learning process.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is a good thing. I mean, your experiences will only serve you well, right? And much more than someone who probably hasn't had some of the experience that you had. However, there's still a lot, you know, for you to learn.
Goal then became the Phineas High School, which was always my goal, but just didn't seem realistic till I started to see something on paper. And I seen the first 2 credits in I think it was April of 2004, and then 3 years after that, I finally graduated. After overcoming a lot, I finally finished school here, and upon graduating from Flex, I put in an application at SCC. Once again, not a lot of confidence in myself for things working out for me, but things end up working out, and I got in. I ended up taking the General Arts and Science stream, Human Services. I graduated from that. I now have 5 credits taken care of for Human Services this fall, and I'll be moving back to Truro into the residence on September 1st to further my education and continue off my goals for Human Services, and hopefully in a few years' time I'll be a youth worker, and I'll still be looking back at good experiences that I had here. Thanks.
There's probably a lot of ups and downs with the youth you work with, but when you see someone really finally succeed, like, you know, after working with me for 5 years and then I graduated, it must feel fulfilling to see someone that you work with for years finally succeed, right?
It is. I get to go to graduations. You know, I get to go to graduations every single year, and it's not always just about graduations. When you have those ups and you have those goals, and you see those, it's not always just graduations that you get to see those results. Sometimes it's just the fact that a client came in and showed up at that appointment, or I come to this center and next week a client dropped back in who I was really hoping stopped back in the next week and, you know, made it back in the next week. Yeah. That milestone was a really big milestone, you know, that they're safe yet another week.